Greetings, traders. It is I, Abdul Shabazz, and this is some real change stock options trading journey. We want to thank you. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to a very exciting day today. So glad that you could be a part of it with us. Good morning. Aaron is in the building. Good morning. Dr. J is also in the building. Happy and excited. Ready to get this day going. Want to be very careful today. Very careful. Yes, there we go. That's it. If you know, you know. Ready to go. We're doing the same thing as yesterday, taking our time, allowing the charts to set up, and show us where the money is in the charts. It's definitely looking very, very, very bullish today. We had a huge liquidity day yesterday, as you look and see the daily chart here in the top right corner, showing you the daily chart. Aaron, Dr. J, how's the volume? If you don't mind, give me a nice volume check. Thank you. Okay, awesome. Good morning. Prince is also in the building. Looking at this nice run we're having pre-market. Go ahead and add the pre-market this morning. Just so we can get a better look here. See the gap down that we had yesterday. Look at this retracement. I can't even mark pre-market high because it keeps moving. So I'm going to take it off as we begin today. Bismillah. Let us find the profits as they make themselves available to us. Here we go. Huge gap up from yesterday's close. A lot of action again took place this morning pre-market. We will have to be extra careful and extra patient. This is a liquidity grab. Dan is also in the building. This could very well be a very nice bullish day as they have all of this liquidity from yesterday to build upon, and they are moving very early. Whether or not the rest of the market feels that way, we will find out soon. Hamza is also in the building. Wa alaikum assalam. We will be patient and observe, but we definitely have a huge gap up this morning. If it can sustain, that's fine. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But this move was made and provided for by the huge downtrend, down day. Nice, huge red day we had overall from beginning to end. A grizzly bear red candle. But for right now, I do have a pre-market. It was absolutely a grizzly bear. Look at your weekly chart as well. You would see that it's now back green for the week. It was red for the week. It has now flipped back green for the week. There is a left shoulder right here, guys. The left shoulder right here. $456 is the 5-day moving average. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that, Prince. The stock definitely tends to not get far away from that 5-day moving average. The head could be anywhere. Up here. This is just what I see right now, early the brick coming down. Doesn't have to be. But that first candle looks really, really weak. Does anybody else think so? That first 5-minute candle looks really, really weak for the bulls. Really weak. So let's make a note of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take it off.
Bluetooth connected.
Just wanted to make a note that I do see a liquidity grab right here. Left shoulder is right here. I do see a right shoulder that could form here. Possibly. It's always important to add that because no one knows what the market is going to do. And it only takes one person to come in and absolutely change everything. Has anybody heard any news? Dr. J, Prince, Hamza, Dan, Lisa, has anybody heard any news? Just wanted to know. Another one. Another doji. And that's exactly why we're being patient this morning, because the market has not made its mind up yet. Oh, boy, I do see a nice put. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to do it. I'm waiting. I promise you I won't trade before 10 o'clock, regardless. I do see a nice put coming. I do see a nice put coming, risking the top of this candle. But it's still too early to tell. What do we say? The first 5 minutes are volatile. The first 15 minutes, you can be tricked and trapped. And we don't need or want any more traps. So much so, I am going to close my activating computer that I buy my orders in. I'm just going to identify what I see. So if you just heard that thing say disconnected, that was me putting the gun back in the holster. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is it. I am a 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock trader. I use from 9 o'clock, 9:30 to 10 o'clock to identify the algos, to see who's in control, the bulls or the bears for the day, for the week. I see where pre-market high is, pre-market low. I set alarms. I haven't done that yet, so let me do that. Set alarms. And then we are patient and wait for a setup to present itself if it does. I'd probably like to see a call over here above this area. So we definitely have a gap up. She's acting like she wants to crap, but that could be a disguise. It could very well be a disguise. We have survived the first 15 minutes. Give it up to yourself for staying safe. Good, good, good. Hamza is safe. Dan is safe. Prince is safe. Dr. J is safe. Aaron is safe. I saw the put coming. I saw this put. It's just too early to take it. It's too early to take it. And VWAP is right underneath it. I believe you. Keep in mind, Prince, VWAP is right underneath it. So if you short above VWAP, you need to cover above VWAP. Stocks that are trading above VWAP have the tendency to typically be bullish. And once the price trades below VWAP, it has more of a bearish sentiment. And Again, keep in mind, I was tempted too. I called it out. This was the area. I absolutely called it out. But I just, you know, the difference about me is I can't be more of a gunslinger because I have to keep you guys in mind. And I don't want to be a bad example or jump out there and have you guys jump out there with me. I want to practice and show safe practices. Does that mean there's some trades that are going to go by? Of course. Of course. But so what do we do in that case? We applaud Prince. It's wonderful that we have a teammate like that. It's absolutely great. You know, I saw the put, called out the put, but don't want to trade until 10 o'clock. I just don't. I did that yesterday. Did I miss out? Not at all. Not at all. So everyone's rules are going to be different. For me, mine came from looking at my stats. I noticed 90% of my losses came before 10 o'clock. So not only does that mean that 90% of my losses came before 10 o'clock, but that also meant that 60% of my wins could have been bigger if I wasn't trying to come out of the hole from that first loss prior to 10 o'clock. So with that being the case, I had to come up with a rule for myself, and that is, I'm not taking a trade before 10 o'clock. Does that mean that some days I might not trade? Absolutely. But it's my rules that make me money. My rules make me money. Not only did I also tell you guys about this put, but I also showed you about the head and shoulders that was forming. Just because we see it doesn't mean we have to get involved with everything. But it's good to see it. It's good to see it. Does anyone remember when I did this? At 9:35. I called this out at 9:35. But the discipline to me is more important. Even with calling this out, I'm just hoping it don't happen until 10 o'clock. But once you see the algos, you can't unsee them. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Oh, I see you. Oh, I see you. Oh, I see you, all right. I see you. Once you see the algos, you can't unsee them. But I've also learned that you're not missing anything by allowing the chart to develop more. Remember, this is the SPY that we're trading. There are retirement funds in the SPY, okay? Hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars are traded in the SPY. It has to move. It will never sit still because money has to be traded all during the trading day and before pre-market and post-market, as you can see. So with understanding that, also have understood that by taking our time with the SPY and allowing it to show us what it wants, reveal us, get somebody in trouble. Remember what I said. We make our money by identifying where on the chart would the bulls be in trouble, and then where on the chart would the bears be in trouble. We highlight those areas mentally, or we write them down. We place an alarm at those areas. We form a plan around that area, and then we get in our sniper position and we wait for that to come into our scope. But we make our easy money when somebody else is in trouble. When the bulls have to cover and buy, we want to be right there. When the bears have to cover, when the bears have to cover and buy, we want to be right there. When the bulls have to cover and sell, we want to be right there. This is how we make very easy money. And as we stated before, if someone is not in trouble, you are in trouble. Prince, I really hope you got out of this. I really hope you got out of it, buddy. I hope you took advantage and made your money in that 5 candle, as I know you would. Of course. Get that money in that 5-minute candle and be gone. But this is what we want to see. Way to go, Prince. And again, keep in mind, the reason he did that is because we had this run up by the bulls that was provided for from yesterday by the bears. We hit an area of intraday resistance that it created on its own, with agreements between the bulls and the bears. The price should not go any higher than this. We then had the bears step in and reject the higher prices indicated by these upper wicks, okay? And we then had a close, okay, below both of the previous candles, with this third candle now trading beneath the second candle, very safe entry, using the candle flipping itself from red to green as your stop out. Means your stop will be very tight, very little risk, complete profit to be made. First profit taking area, of course, would be VWAP, because at VWAP it could bounce, retrace, consolidate sideways, or it could continue. So in this case, it continued, and then you would take your second profit or take your runners off approximately here at the end of the 5-minute chart, successfully sticking your hand in the cookie jar.
Bluetooth connected.
I just pulled my gun out. Came right down and hit that right shoulder. Anybody notice that? The shoulder right here. Came right down and hit it. Now again, just because we identify the head and shoulder, that does not mean we know what it's going to do when it gets there. Okay? So there is the head and shoulder. It could come back in this area and retrace. It could hit this area. I'm sorry, it could come to this area, retrace, and then continue. It could hit this area and reverse and go back up. All we did was just identify the area where there's going to be discussion. We are upon fastly approaching the 10 o'clock hour.
Bluetooth disconnected.
But I just put my gun back up. Now, let's go ahead and identify the area that the Bulls or the Bears would be in trouble. Anyone to write it in the chat? What area would be the ideal place to take a call? What area would be the ideal area to take a put? See, even though we have this gap up here, I don't want to eliminate pre-market yet, because it is important for you to identify these candles so you can see where that liquidity will come from to push down further if we come back into this right shoulder area that I told you guys about. Okay, we got a 456 call. Okay, but entering around where though, Dan? What area do you see the call? I see that you're saying a 456. That would be the option strike price we would take. 457.20 for the put. Okay. Dan is saying 456.20 for the put. I do agree with that as well, as that would complete the right shoulder. And not only that, guys, but we do have a new 30-minute chart, and the 30-minute chart right now is green, with it coming down to this 456.20 area that will flip that from green to red and give us a second consecutive red 30-minute candle. However, that alone is not a setup.
Bluetooth connected.
It's not a setup. It's not a setup. I don't like it.
Bluetooth disconnected.
I don't like it. 45640 is broken. Gonna put 45640. Okay. Prince is saying 45640. Okay, is actually right here where she would flip, because this is the beginning of. Let's go ahead and show it. Let's go ahead and show it. I'll just zoom this up real quick, blow it up. Hope we don't miss anything. Okay. All right. There we have it. Here's the 30-minute chart. As I was saying, that as agreeing with Prince, that 45640 right there would be an indicator. And I do agree with Dan that the 45620 would be your entry. Definitely agree with you guys. And as far as the call is concerned, to me, I see a call above. If it happens, literally above the 4. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Keep in mind it is Thursday as well. Tomorrow we'll have a lot more volatile action as contracts expire on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can look on the daily chart over here to the right, and you can see that even though we had this huge gap up from yesterday's close, she is still hanging around that 5-day moving average. Yes, she is. You can see out here at the bottom right for the weekly chart, she is now back green for the weekly part. Aaron says 456.6 is being rejected for the most part, and it is 456.6 is being rejected for the most part, and that is, I do agree with that. We do see the bulls attempting to make a move here now. Again, as I stated, with the close above this area would be a nice place for a call. But again, you have to let the candle close. If you're interested in a call, just recognize that there is overhead resistance immediately at the 457.4. You're talking about 50 cent on the SPY ticker price. Probably maybe 10-20 cent option gain, which is good if you were willing to risk it. But again, I don't like it. I gotta be honest, real honest with you guys.
Disconnected.
I don't like any of this action. I don't like any of it. None of it warrants risking our money. Thank you, Dan agrees. Thank you, Dan, for agreeing. This is more of a sit and watch and wait and see what happens this type of day here. Let's go ahead and blow it up. I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate pre-market, guys. We pretty much got the gist of what's happening. This also helps us keep things in proper perspective. As I said, and that's why I'm glad I did that too. Because even if you do want to take this call right here, you can't even really get too excited because exactly as Dan said, that 50-cent range, that risk to reward is not good. So again, the market is going to move, but that doesn't mean that we have to be involved. Well, this would be a great time to thank our sponsors. T-shirts for traders, thank you. And thank you guys for being a part of this journey. Thank you for participating. For those of you who watch the replay, thank you for watching the replay. For those of you who this is your first time, thank you for joining us. For those of you who are present but not speaking, we still appreciate you as well. I do appreciate what this might appear to look like.
Bluetooth connected.
See that? This is just real tricky. Real tricky. Saucy. Roderick is in the building. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, this is just looking real.
Bluetooth
Real
disconnected.
And it's perfectly fine, to sit on the sidelines and be safe. Because if you're on the sideline safe, you have not lost any money. We love the easy trades. Coach, my mom said you sound like a priest. Shout out to your mom, Prince. Thank you, Mom. Just trying to figure out what is going on with these charts. I see a put coming. Yep, I was going to say, nice. Aaron says, I see a put coming soon of short, the 456.6. Just keep getting rejected. Still don't trust it yet. I think that's a very good observation. I absolutely don't trust any of this action right now either. So we're still in agreement on that. Amazing. Simply amazing. Who would have thought that all of this would have happened? You know, this candle was red, then it was green, then it was red, and now this. Poor bears. Oh my goodness. All the early bears are getting squeezed right now. All the early bears are getting squeezed right now. That's exactly what's happening, and there's a lot of time on this candle. Just about 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, now I'm getting interested. I'm getting interested now. It's still early. Still early. And even though we identified this area as a call, we also identified the overhead resistance. And there's no way I would recommend getting in here at all because you have no risk, no solid risk. It's too great. But I tell you what, if this does not sustain, this will be a lovely drop back to the 455.3. If it does not sustain, it very well could. That's what we like to see. Running into that resistance is just like bumping your head into a ceiling. She's peeking on right on above it now. Pretty work. Absolutely beautiful. But who could have predicted? Who could have called it? And then who would have trusted? Not me.
Bluetooth connected. Bluetooth disconnected.
Exactly why we didn't chase. It's exactly why we did not chase. No structure, no trade. There's no such thing as missing out on a trade. The market will always present profits. But I will try to jump in man, I do like this. Tell me what you guys think now. Especially with all of this liquidity that just jumped up and ran here. If this turns into a shooting star and we start getting trading beneath the shooting star, then we'll get a nice pop down provided by the bulls with this liquidity. It all depends on what happens here. They could pause and keep going. We will have to see. Regardless, this is an area of weekly resistance. And as we look to the past, we can see that from this area, she likes to come out of it. We just have to be careful and take our time. But again, also remember, if you take, it's just best to be safe. None of this is textbook right now. We got a huge gap up. None of this is safe right now. Less 30 seconds left on this candle. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Bluetooth disconnected.
With a very strong buying algo. I must admit, with a very strong buying algo. Once it got going, googity wow. Shorts just covered. Those were the last shorts that just covered. Googity bob. That was a big squeeze. Those were the last shorts that held out. Also, the new shorts that shorted here early and decided to ride it, and they couldn't take the pain no more. Saw them cover. Unbelievable. But it is. SPY is doing what the SPY does. And trust and believe we will find profits in the chart. This wants to go to 459 because at 459 it will be closing the cup. So it wants to go to 459. We'll just see what happens along the way. Keep in mind, even yesterday was like this, yesterday morning, and it wasn't until the 11 o'clock hour when the prophets presented themselves. But when they showed up, we were grateful. Continue to be patient. No one could have predicted this candle. Remember, this candle went back and forth, back and forth. And then once it did take off, there was no clear entry to be safe at. So we had to watch it. But being that we missed it, so what? It's not even 10:30. Who cares? There's plenty more money coming by. Plenty more. Even after we made this money yesterday, thought it was another opportunity coming, and it came right behind it. I think that was the day before. I'm getting profit days mixed up. Yesterday we got money in this candle. Then after we got money in this candle, when I got off the air, then we had this drop again. And you could have safely taken a put right here and got out at the end of this candle. Hindsight, for those of us that took puts, what if we'd have left a run on all day? But again, that's why we have yesterday's chart pulled up as well. So we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. We can see the range of how the stock can move. Pull Tuesday up too. This was that move Tuesday after 11 o'clock I was talking about. And even after that, when I got off the air, there was another opportunity to do the same thing again right here. So there's plenty of money left in the charts, guys. Myself personally, I'm gonna wait until the 10:30 candle. Looking at the 30-minute candle, I would love to see potential reversal. I'd like to give you guys a round of applause for your patience. On that new 30-minute candle. Yeah, that is correct. We are definitely not in trouble. We are not the ones in trouble. We're just sitting on the sidelines salivating. Nothing in the feeling like protecting profits. No feeling in the world like protecting your profits. There it is. I am looking at a. That's definitely a shooting star. I gotta take this trade, guys. The risk and reward, everything is just in it for me. I gotta get in that trade. That is a shooting star. I've accepted the risk on that when I took the trade. Because the trade is not immediately going in my direction, I am going to size down on the trade. Don't take me out right here. Okay, good. Took me out. I have reloaded, took a 10-cent loss on that. And that 30-minute candle is now back green.
Bluetooth disconnected.
It always happens like that. I get in just a little
connected.
early, but I use my 85% rule, where I will get right back in where I got stopped out at if everything lines up again. But this is what I would do different. We have a little less than 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. I will wait for a close red, and then for a third consecutive red candle. But I am not afraid. Nope, I don't see it. I repeat, I do not see the put. We did have a shooting star right here at resistance, and we did have price trading beneath it, but the candle flipped on itself, and so we got out. It's just that simple. Mm. Mm. No, I'm not upset. Not at all. I'm getting right back in. All right, I do want to start taking some profit though. Heavy. 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 You guys saw what's out. You guys saw I took 30 contracts on that one. So I'm heavy. It's not immediately going my way. Take some more off. It's frustrating because if I wouldn't have got shooken out, then I would have clearly been in profits here. But that's what the purpose of having that short risk, that tight risk. Didn't like the way that looked, so I took everything off the board. There's that continuation candle. And we don't have it. There we do. one 10-cent loss, one scratch trade. I didn't make any money with those 30 contracts. Mm. Just got back in, and I will hold this trade. I just got back in at 458 put. Stop out area will be the flip of this candle. My take profit area will be the retest of VWAP. Yep. And I got stopped out again, guys. No, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it to the end of this, to the chart close. Glad I didn't jump right out. I'm looking at the clock. We like to let the candle close. We don't want to let it run because there is liquidity that the bears provided, and I am in trouble. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. So I went ahead and just ended it right then and there. Will not give up any more money today. We're happy with the small loss that I've taken. I hope I was the only one in trouble today. Is everyone else safe?
Bluetooth disconnected.
Just put my gun back in the holster. Everybody still safe? Dan is safe. I'm in a put, still in profit. Aaron is still in a put, still in profit. Okay, Aaron, please protect that profit. Look at those bottom wicks. Those bottom wicks. And keep in mind that the bulls can use these bears as liquidity. This last 5-minute candle to squeeze right back up to 458. Prince says he's safe. Good. Everybody's safe. That's awesome. Hamza, Dr. J, y'all safe? Just don't have it. Just don't have it. Okay, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Had the right idea, just couldn't execute on it well. Looking at that 30-minute chart, we were coming right out of a weekly resistance. We touched it. She was green, and then she went red. Okay, but somehow I could not manage this trade correctly. This might be one of those type of situations where after a move like this, it would probably be better off to let the first 30-minute candle be red and look for a second consecutive 30-minute candle. But I wanted to take a put, okay, right out of weekly resistance. And in this case, when it flipped the colors from green to red, and it did do so, somehow I just couldn't manage it. Couldn't manage it. And that happens. The right idea, but the wrong execution. Going forward, if we want to identify safe areas, beneath this intraday demand would be a great place to take put in this area safely. The stock would be under VWAP. It would then be breaking demand, and then it would change on the day from green to red. As far as calls are concerned, the area above the 458.2 would be the safer area, using this as your stop if it breaks it, but that would be the safest call. Hang on, Aaron, hang on.
Bluetooth connected.
Hang on as long as you can. Took my profits at, okay, awesome. Hamza, safe, took my profits at 12%. Awesome, Hamza. Great trade. Awesome. That's what we love to hear.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Today, what am I eating? Oh, probably some steak. They had a sale at the grocery store here. Grab me some good old-fashioned protein. Normally after a trading day, especially like today at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go hit the gym. A little bit frustrated. A little bit, but it happens, you know. But as long as we take controlled losses, then it's okay. So you can even have a losing day and it still be a green day as long as you followed your rules. Because in your rules, you have calculated risk. So as long as you don't lose any more than your calculated risk, it's still a good day. Does that make me feel better? No. I'm a winner. I love to win. But I understand that nothing is 100% in this game. And I'm okay with taking the small losses. Have to be. Because I'm definitely okay with taking the big wins. It's about 3 minutes to the 11 o'clock hour. I think this would be a great time to thank our sponsors, T-Shirt for Traders. You are a trader, right? Well, then look like one. Did I read that right? You're a trader, right? Well, then look like one, is what they say. Thank you, t-shirtsfortraders.co. And see, now let's get back to this chart. This should have dropped by now. But the market is going to do what the market wants to do. And I'm going to accept that for today. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to take a bigger loss. I'm not going to risk any more money. I'm going to take my licking and keep on ticking. Just because this looks bearish, it is not. It is not bearish at all. Haha, I will come back at 1 o'clock though to take a look. I will come back at 1 o'clock to try to get my lick back. But right now, the safest place to be is on the sidelines. Congratulations to Prince. Congratulations to Aaron. Congratulations to Hamza. For the profit that they've taken. Congratulations to Roderick, Dan, Dr. J, and myself. Well, congratulations to you guys for staying safe, and congratulations to me for taking a small, acceptable gentleman's risk loss. We've reached the 11 o'clock hour. And I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in as we do this every day from 9:25 to 11. We like to use the first 30 minutes to identify the algos, see what the chart has in mind, look at the overall sentiment, bullish or bearish, come up with a plan, identify the areas of trouble, and sit and wait. And as we say, if you don't identify the area of in trouble, you are in trouble. And today, somehow I got into trouble. Seeing this area of resistance, let's go ahead and recap that. Okay. Coming out of this morning, we came out with a couple dojis out of the gate. The market was very indecisive, came down, created this demand area, but was still very indecisive as it consolidated for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. On the very next candle, this candle started red, then went green, then came back, and then all of a sudden hit the nitrous button, shot all the way through VWAP, shot through the pre-market high, closed above that, went right through this area of resistance, did not even come back to challenge it or test it as support. We just changed the color anyway, as it went right on through and did touch weekly resistance. Once this weekly resistance was created with a shooting star, I then took a put with trading beneath the shooting star. My error was not allowing the candle to close. In doing so, the candle flipped and went the opposite direction, and I got out immediately. I then got in on the following candle as it broke the low of this candle trading here, but somehow I was not able to sustain. I got in heavy with 30 contracts. It did not move, so I started dumping. Again, tried it one more time. Here, it did not work. That is me calling it a day. Thank you, team. I will pick my head back at 1 o'clock to see if a lick back is possible, but I'm not going to take the risk on damaging an excellent week with one day. It's not going to happen. Thank you guys for coming out. God bless you. Good night. This is a journey, and I'm glad that we're all a part of it together.